wanted to go over how to do a good discussion board. You'll be judged on whether or not, first of all, you need to hit all of the links. And I know that the first week it's a little complicated because you will only get one link that must be used by Wednesday midnight for you to stay enrolled in the class. And then after that, another link will appear. So you need to make sure you are there Wednesday and also sometime either Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday to get the second link. So to get 100%, you would address all the links, and the links are actually exercises. So I'm expecting you to do what it says. The instructions will be there to make a plan, try it out, report back your results, and then try to reply to somebody else, especially if you have good advice. So while it's nice to encourage people and it's nice to say, oh, I agree with you, it isn't really a discussion unless you add something to the conversation. So you're looking to offer advice, you're looking to ask questions to see if you can get to the bottom of it, or to brainstorm ideas with your classmates of what they could do instead. And certainly if you think they've misunderstood something, you can try to clarify that. But the other thing you'll be graded on is your grammar, up to 50%. And I leave it up to 50% because if the grammar is such that it's confusing what you're trying to say, then your message is lost anyway. So it doesn't do you any good to have a great idea if the recipient can't understand it. I'm also using this as a place for you to practice, because you need to be conscious of this even with your emails. You want to, sometimes that's all that represents you, right? So I want you to get in the habit of doing this spell check. Even if you have to type it in Word first to do a good spell check and then copy and paste it into your discussion, it's worth it to make sure you are being represented in the professional image that you desire. So I'll be monitoring that and giving you tips as we go too. What you have here are examples of what not to do. You don't want to talk in textees, right? You don't want to pretend you're texting and do these shortcuts. It doesn't speak well of you as a professional if you do that. But you do want to add to the conversation. So tell about your experience. Here's the before and after. If you said, you really know what you're talking about, I agree, that doesn't really add anything. But if you said, I realized that in their culture it was inappropriate to ask about someone's job when I lived in Australia, right? You want to give us some background there. Found out when I lived in Australia, apparently what we consider an icebreaker here, what do you do for a living, is rude in other countries. Fortunately, I was advised of this by my exchange group leader before I met anyone in the country. I also found out that shaking hands, if you're a female, was considered a bit awkward. So that's something we might do in our cultural segment. So this gives you a general rubric of what I'm looking for. If you just basically do the post, get in, get out, 2 days, you can get the C. If you do an above average or very thoughtful replies, you'll get above average, and if you do 2 or more thoughtful replies, you'll get that A. If you do it on 3 days, you'll get possibly 100%. So I hope that clarifies. You'll have more than enough opportunities. You don't have to do 3 days for each link I give you, just 3 days overall. Okay.